How do you one-up yourself when you start with a villain like Vandal Savage and already have guest stars like Jonah Hex? Well, I guess we're about to find out. And welcome back to the heart of the stories we tell, a series where I spend way too much time thinking about what makes a story. And today's episode is, I'll say right off the bat, the team has got a fun dynamic, and I'm not missing the Hawks all that much. I think overall the writers have a pretty good handle on how to do the superhero team. They could just use some work on how to do the time travel. All in all, I liked the episode. But for now, let's get into the weeds and go into... So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. And depending on how you look at it, it either all ends here, at the beginning, or it all begins here, at the end. Man, I love when people take plots and twist them around so they're out of sequence. So we're introduced to Dr. Haywood, who's probably going to be Citizen Steel, the descendant of Commander Steel. And he figured out who the Green Arrow is, but he didn't figure out who the Flash was based on who got hit by lightning. And you know what? Never mind that. Forget. So we have the Arrow because it's easier to have Oliver Queen guest star in an episode, and he wakes up Rory, and then we're back into the past and we learn how we got to that point. For the most part, the episode was pretty good. I liked the attack by Damien Darhk. I liked the idea of the Germans nuking New York in 1942. The fact that we still won the war, but it took us longer. The more casualties. All the sorts of things that were great. However, then we have the, oh no, because we started the episode with the problem of the whole team's been killed, we've really split them into multiple places, and then we get them back in like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that. I mean, the endpoint could have been written a little better. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about the powerhouse in the room. All superhero shows have a problem, and that is the superpowers. Let's be honest. If you don't have a supervillain that can specifically challenge your hero, you have this problem where the powers can just overrun. Well, the Atom can sneak in anywhere. Sarah Lance is already one of the best fighters, maybe even a Batman-level combatant. But then there's Firestorm. Firestorm is simultaneously one of the things I'm looking most forward to and one of the things I fear most. He can fly, he can shoot energy blasts, he can absorb energy, he can transmute one type of material into another, and he has the brains of a major physicist that's a super genius. At the end of the day, overpowered doesn't even begin to describe it. Yeah, he may not be Superman, but in some ways, he's even more powerful. This episode, they kept him out of the first line of fighting pretty well, and kept him as just a blaster who could fly in the second. But there's part of me that sits there and goes, why didn't anyone think to have him just vaporize the nuke? Or turn it into flowers? Or, anything of the sort. When you have someone so powerful on the team, it's hard to challenge. But on the other hand, the dynamic between Jackson and Stein is some of the most fun episodes from Season 1. In fact, Stein totally steals most scenes he's in. All in all, for every positive of this episode, there's a negative, I guess. However, then there's the end of the episode, which really is just the end of last season. Well, not exactly. But you see, Episode 2 is entitled Justice Society of America. And last season, we got the Rex Tyler hint for Justice Society. And I can hardly wait to see them. I'm a huge fan. The only thing I'm going to be kind of bummed about is because Jay Garrick over in Flash has been thrown into another extra Earth. That means that he's not part of the society, because Alan Scott and Jay Garrick were probably two of my favorites. However, seeing Obsidian and Stargirl totally made my day, even if it was only for a few seconds. Seeing how they pull off Justice Society is a really big test for this season. However, the other test is the fact that this episode really tied the whole berlantiverse together. So let's talk about some villains for a second. Greg Berlanti runs the shows Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, and Arrow. But if you haven't seen the Arrow, or Flash, you may not know all the villains that are coming up. For this episode, we've only met these middle two, Damien Darhk and Eobard Thawne. Eobard Thawne, if you hadn't guessed by the super speed effect, is the reverse Flash. He can run fast enough through time to time travel, and as such is a major villain in the Flash comics, in the Flash TV show, and now Legends of Tomorrow. Damien Darhk is an immortal who trained with Ra's al Ghul and has magical powers. Between the two of them, they already are a challenge for probably the whole team. As you saw, Sarah, who is by far their best combatant, couldn't even beat Damien on her own. Although, to be fair, she has no powers. Maybe the two guys who actually throw fire could be a major threat to him. However, I'm curious what you thought of Legends of Tomorrow tonight. I want to know if you think that connecting the entire Berlantiverse into one is a good idea. I really do, and there's going to be a 4-part crossover coming up. Since they didn't seem to tie anything into that tonight, I'm not going to talk about it like I did on almost all the other shows. So for now, I need you to like, subscribe, and share this video so that we can grow this community, and then join me back here next episode in order to take another look at Legends of Tomorrow, or maybe check out my Arrow and Flash and Supergirl videos. In the meantime, thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.